Hello friends, I am Karima Jain and this is an e-lecture for BA Part First students of Maharaja Surajmal Braj University. In the first paper of English Literature of BA Part First students, we have this poem, Christopher Marlowe's The Passionate Shepherd to His Love, and this lecture is about this poem. First, we'll talk about Christopher Marlowe, who is a contemporary of Shakespeare, and so he's known as an Elizabethan poet. He was born in 1564 and he died in 1593. The exact date of his birth is not known, but he stands as a great writer, not only of Elizabethan age, but also of the whole realm of English literature. His name is also included among university wits. Now, this university wits is a title which is given to 7 renowned writers of this period of 16th century who actually went to university, who actually gained university education from Oxford University and Cambridge University. So Christopher Marlowe is one of the university wits, and he received his education, that is his master's and bachelor's, from Cambridge University. Christopher Marlowe is known both in the capacity of a poet as well as a playwright, that is a dramatist. He has written many plays, and his main plays are Dido. This is the first play, Dido, the Queen of Carthage. Then Dr. Faustus. This is his second play, and Dr. Faustus is considered to be his magnum opus. This is the play which actually drove critics to compare him with William Shakespeare. He has also written Tamburlaine the Great. This is also a play, Edward II, The Massacre at Paris, The Jew of Malta. These are some renowned plays by Christopher Marlowe. Marlowe not only a playwright, he is also known as a great poet of English literature. Though he has not written a large amount of poetry, his poetic output is really scanty, it is very less, but whatever he has written of such value that his name stands out as one very prominent poet of English literature. Among his poems, 2 poems are his most loved poems. One is, which we'll read today in this lecture, The Passionate Shepherd to His Love, and second most popular poem of Marlowe is Hero and Leander. We directly come to the poem of today's lecture, The Passionate Shepherd to His Love. As the title shows, in this poem, a shepherd is speaking to his love. That is, a shepherd is talking, a shepherd is conveying his emotions to his beloved. This is a lyric, and this lyric is written in the fashion of a pastoral lyric. It has a pastoral setting. Pastoral setting here means that the setting of the poem is related with the village, with the shepherds and shepherdesses. There is beauty of nature, there are rivers, mountains. So it is not a town poem. It is a beautiful poem. It is a beautiful song whose setting is, or the background is set in a village, in a forest, with simple, beautiful people, shepherds and shepherdesses. So this is a pastoral lyric. The speaker in the poem is a shepherd, and he is speaking to his beloved, and he is trying to persuade her, he is actually presenting his love proposal to his beloved, and he's trying to persuade her, he's trying to actually allure her, to tempt her by proposing her many beautiful temptations, and these temptations are all derived from the beauties of nature. So this poem is a celebration of the beauties and bounties of nature, because the speaker again and again he'll talk about the beauties of nature, the gifts of nature. So this poem in this way celebrates the beauty of nature. In its form, it is divided into 6 quatrains. A quatrain is a group of 4 lines. It is a stanza of 4 lines, and in the poem we have such 6 stanzas, such 6 quatrains, and the meter is iambic tetrameter. We come to the text now directly. So the poem starts. So the poem begins with a direct proposal of the shepherd to his beloved, and he says, "Come live with me and be my love, and we'll all the pleasures prove, that valleys, groves, hills and fields, woods or steepy mountains yields." He is speaking to his beloved, and he's saying to her that, hey, please come and live with me. Come, be my beloved, live with me and be my love. And we'll all the pleasures prove. We'll prove all the pleasures, that we'll have all the pleasures of this world. Which kind of pleasures? These pleasures will be the ones that valleys, groves, hills and fields, woods or steepy mountain yields. These pleasures will be yielded, these pleasures will be given by not by town life, not by rich endorsements of life. These pleasures will be given by valleys, by beautiful valleys of nature, by beautiful groves. Groves are a bunch of trees. Groves are a place which is totally crowded with trees. Hills, fields, farms, woods, forests, steepy mountains. So these are beauties of nature, these are fragments of nature, and the poet is, shepherd is speaking to his beloved that we'll have the pleasures which are given, which are yielded by these natural objects. And we'll sit upon the rocks. And we'll sit upon the rocks, we'll sit on the mountains. We'll enjoy our time sitting together on the mountain peaks, seeing the shepherds feed their flocks. And we'll watch the shepherds feeding their flocks. We'll watch the shepherds feeding their cattle. By shallow rivers to whose falls melodious words sing madrigals. We'll also sit by shallow rivers. We'll also sit on the rocks and by shallow rivers, and at these places we'll enjoy the madrigals sung by melodious birds. Madrigals are love songs. So the birds singing melodies, madrigals, a beautiful aspect of nature, and these are natural things, these natural beauties will be enjoyed by a shepherd and his beloved. In the third stanza, he says, "And I'll make thee beds of roses and 1,000 fragrant posies. a cap of flowers, and a kirtle embroidered all with leaves of myrtle. Now he is trying to allure his beloved by um by proposing her many kinds of temptations. Shepherd says that I'll make for you beds of roses. I'll make you comfortable beds of roses. I'll make you a beautiful bed. I'll make for you a beautiful bed all spread with roses. And 1,000 fragrant posies, and also 1,000 that many fragrant, beautifully smelling posies, beautifully smelling flowers, bunches of flowers. I'll make for you a cap of flowers. I'll make for you a beautiful cap of flowers, and a kirtle. Kirtle is a circular dress for women, which is also known as petticoat, or we also call it a gown. I'll make for you a beautiful dress made by flowers, embroidered all with leaves of myrtle. And it will be embroidered, this beautiful petticoat or gown, it will be embroidered with beautiful leaves of myrtle. Myrtle is a kind of shrub which has a glossy finish, which has a glossy texture. Then he says, a gown made of the finest wool. I'll make for you a beautiful gown which will be made from the finest possible, with the finest available wool, which from our pretty lambs we pull. And this wool, I'll derive it from the most pretty lambs. Fair-lined slippers for the cold, and to save your feet from the wrenching cold, I will make for you beautiful fair-lined slippers, fair-lined, beautiful cushioned slippers, which will be comfortable for you during the weather of cold, with buckles of purest gold, and these slippers will also have ornamentation of buckles, and these buckles will be made of pure gold. Then he says, a belt of straw and ivy words. I'll also make for you a beautiful belt of straws, which will be made from straws, and ivy words. Ivy is an evergreen climber, and he's saying here that I'll make for you a beautiful belt of straw and ivy buds with coral clasps and amber studs, and it will be studded with corals and ambers. Corals and ambers are precious gemstones. Coral is of red color. And if these pleasures may thee move, and if you are moved by these pleasures, if they are moved by these temptations of mine, come live with me and be my love. Then please come to me and be my love, be my beloved. This is the last stanza. He says, the shepherd swains shall dance and sing. Not only these beauties of nature, but I'll also make you happy with proper entertainment. We live in village, but our life will not be boring. We'll have a beautiful, pleasure-filled life. And this pleasure will be derived from what? From some kind of entertainment. And what kind of entertainment the shepherd is proposing to his beloved? He is saying that shepherd swains shall dance and sing for the delight each May morning. Each May morning, that during this weather of summer, during summer season, in the morning, for your delight, for your pleasure, you will be given this feast of dance and sing. A dance and singing show which will be presented by whom? By shepherd swains. Shepherd swains, by groups of shepherds. That is, many shepherds, they will present music and dance show for you. If these delights thy mind may move, if your mind is moved by these delights, by these pleasures, if you are tempted, if you are attracted, if you are made happy by these pleasures, then live with me and be my love. Then please come to me, live with me and be my beloved, be my wife. So this is how it goes. This is how the shepherd is trying very beautifully to allure his beloved, and he is proposing his beloved all beauties of nature, all attractions of nature. So this is a pastoral poem, and beautifully written. This is one of the most loved poems of Christopher Marlowe. I hope you all like this poem. Catch you in the next video. Thank you.